Yeah, but I'm good. And you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Appreciate you coming on. Really, really good to
No
have you
problem. No
on.
problem.
Thanks for taking time out from your busy schedule. I know you just had a fight announced, haven't you? So very busy time
Yeah,
for you now. Then, so you're
yeah,
fighting. Is it Nicolas Joseph?
yeah. Nick Joseph, Nick Paddywhack, Nick and Paddywhack. Let me actually put my dog out of the room. Hey, go to your bed. Go to your cage. Come on. Go to your cage. Yeah, Nick Paddywhack.
So tell us a bit about that fight. Then, how did that come about? What do you think of your opponent?
Really? Yeah, Nick was me and Nick were actually really good friends. I actually used to crash on his couch in LA.
Okay.
Literally like we would go everywhere together, like we were cool, and then like we had a fallout. And ever since we had a fallout, he's just been talking mess. He's just been talking crazy to me. Like I'm the type of person, I got anger problems, and it's like
Boxing's a
I'm
good sport for you then.
yeah, exactly. Like everybody always, it's funny because everybody, when I tell them I started boxing, they're always like, "You're too nice to be boxing," but that's because they never seen the other side. But yeah, so yeah, he just like would always talk to me crazy, and then like he started commenting under my posts on Instagram and stuff, some wild stuff. So I literally told him, I was just like, "Yo, like I can get a contract sent to you. Like I'll be boxing now, so I was like, I can get somebody to send a contract to you easy." And he goes, "Do it." I was like, "Okay." Called up Mams Taylor, the head of Misfits Boxing with KSI, and I was just like, "Hey, send this guy a contract," because they wanted me. This is before my Nick Young fight, and they wanted me to fight Nick Young in January. So I was like, instead of that, just send this guy a contract. And then what's it called? He was like, "All right." He was like, "But I don't think the dude would accept it." And I didn't think Nick would accept it either. He accepted the fight, and he's been training. So
So
yeah,
this
that's
was
how
made
that.
pretty quickly, was it? Was it a fight that was made very quickly and easy to make?
Like it was literally I messaged him. He had a contract like the next day, and
Oh wow.
I was telling Mams to make sure he signed the contract before my next fight, just so like he didn't pull out or anything. So
Mm.
then like yeah, he had signed it the day of my fight with Nick Young, and yeah, then because the Nick Young fight wasn't supposed to happen, but it just like I got a 2 day notice for that one, and yeah, he signed the contract, and here we
That's
are.
good. That's good that these fights are made pretty quickly because you all know recently one of your boys from Texas, champion Errol Spence Jr.'s fight of Terence Crawford didn't go through. So there's been a
Yeah.
lot of back and forth there. So it's good you guys are making it quicker. So it's a bit of a grudge match then, you and Nicolas Joseph.
Oh
Bit of
yeah,
bad
it's a
blood
big
there.
grudge match. A huge grudge match. It's serious. Usually my first two opponents, I had no problem with them. I had no beef. So it was just we were literally just fighting, and it's weird to do the press conference and stuff and have to like talk mess to people that you really don't have like anything ill will against. But then this one, it's like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I have no clue what's gonna happen when it comes to like the trash talking and everything like that, because we know a lot of personal things about each other. But I'm literally like, I'm not playing into nothing. This is all real. Everything you see, everything you hear me say, everything you hear him say back to me, like it's all us. Really, we hate each other.
So are you planning to spill the beans then on him in the press conference?
Um, I'm not. I'm not gonna try to be petty, but if it gets to that point, like I said, I got anger problems. It's whatever happens, happens.
That's quite interesting. So I mean, how do you look to control that anger in a boxing fight? Because of course, in boxing, if you're angry, it can lead you into problems. So how do you
Yeah, I
aim to
can.
control your anger in the ring?
Literally, I mean, it's a thing to
Are
where
you
at
going
the
for a
end of the,
knockout?
I definitely want to knock him out, but it's like I'm not gonna chase the knockout basically. So it's like it's really a thing to where I think like the control factor of is like I'm a calm person when it comes to sports, and I know when to let it out. Because I've been playing sports all my life, except like I don't know, when I did the social media thing, I like stopped really working out and doing all that stuff. But like I've been doing sports all my life, so it's just like I know how to translate it basically.
So you mentioned sports. Do you follow the NFL then, American football?
Do I like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the NFL. I just don't watch as much. I
So
watch boxing more than that.
you're from Fort Worth, Texas, aren't you?
Yes, I'm from Texas,
So
but I'm
so
not a Cowboys fan.
thank God, because I'm a Washington Commanders fan.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm not. Like, if anything, my family, we were raised, because I was born in New England, so we were raised Patriots and Boston Celtics fan.
Oh, so yeah, you've had the good life in the
Yeah.
last 10, 15 years, the Patriots' success.
Mhm.
Okay, so I want to start from the beginning, because a lot of the guys watching this will be boxing fans. But how did you get into YouTube and then start become a social media influencer and now an influencer in boxing?
So I think, because YouTube, I would still say that I never like completely dove into it, but like as far as the influencer world in general, I started off on, I would say, like Snapchat and Twitter. I just literally basically before that I was a videographer. I would shoot videos for all like the top musicians,
In
and
music, yeah.
yeah, and I got into shooting for influencers, and I shot for the popular people. And once I did that, they had told me, they're like, yo, you have a personality yourself, you should step in front of the camera. And I was just like, nah, I never want to be in front of the camera. I was camera shy. And then they told me how much money they were making, and I was just like,
Why
I
not?
can figure it
Just
out.
go for
Yeah,
it.
I can figure it out. So then,
Yeah, yeah.
I stepped in front of the camera. I started doing that. I started getting a bigger following on, or I started meeting everybody just from, I had a job doing influencer marketing for Atlantic Records because I knew so many influencers from shooting for them. So I started putting the influencers with the artists. And then from doing that, I had already known all the top influencers. So once I started shooting videos myself, it was easy to get all the big people in my videos. They were just a phone call away. Yeah, I did that. And then, yeah, I rose up from that, and just consistency, started making as many videos as possible, transitioned from Instagram to TikTok. When we did the pandemic, I was locked in my house for really, I think I went like 3 or 4 months without moving. And so
Wow.
yeah, I gained like, yeah, like
I think
I gained
1.4
like,
million in TikTok, isn't it?
yeah, and I gained that in like 6 months. And then once we were able to go outside again, then I just like, I stopped posting on TikTok as much. And like now I just focus on the boxing mainly. But yeah, and from that I transitioned into, I gained a lot of weight from the pandemic, and I gained a lot of weight from being in my house. So then I wanted to figure out how to lose weight. And I literally like saw my friends, or I saw the influencer boxing thing, and then like some of my friends I knew like went to this gym down the street, Lamb for Fitness, to train boxing. So I went up there with them to try to just lose weight. And then after a week of training with them, I told my coach at the time, I was just like, look, I know a lot of influencers that are getting like into this boxing space, and I promise you I'm gonna get in it and I'm gonna be big, like I'm gonna get on a card. And my coach was just like, yeah, whatever, like blah blah blah. And literally the next week I got a call from London actually, that they had wanted me to be in a fight. They saw that I started training. And yeah, I got on the Showstar card. My friend actually, Jean Marie, had plugged me with this guy, and then I got on that Showstar card. Yeah, flew
Okay,
out to Wembley.
that's really good because I mean, what have you found then the most sort of challenging aspect of boxing?
Challenging?
Most
Most
challenging, yeah.
challenging. I would say balancing boxing with the influencer lifestyle, because it's like it's really hard that people don't know that, we're our own promotion, we're our own walking promotion, we do everything ourselves. Thank God I have a team now, but like, I don't know, shout out to Blake at Trend Music and everybody over there, and then Vayner Media. They've been handling a lot of my boxing stuff, but just like having to try to make content, still seem that like happy-go-lucky internet guy. And then we train every fucking day in boxing. Or I can cuss, right?
Yeah, yeah, I don't mind.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I train like nonstop. Like I got to be at training in 2 hours. So um yeah, that's the hardest part, because people don't understand that the influencer lifestyle is literally like, it's a nonstop thing. It's 24/7. We're constantly posting, constantly thinking of new ideas. So with boxing is a 24/7 lifestyle. So it's just like, people don't understand the work that it takes to do both. And I think it's a crazy thing that I've talked to a lot of professional boxers, and I am an influencer myself, and it's just like, they're starting to understand that, yeah, it takes a lot of work to do both now, to actually or it takes a lot of work to do like either or, and then to do both at the same time is even harder. So that's literally
Yeah,
been the most challenging thing. Yeah.
yeah. So why do you want it? I mean, you must earn good money from social media. So why would you then want to get punched in the face in boxing?
Honestly,
Because
I
there's a
mean, more,
famous saying in boxing, isn't it? It's like, in boxing, people want to get punched in the face in boxing. Those who can't do anything else, so they come up from the bottom, they work their way up.
yeah.
You've already got it. You've got the money, you've got the fame as well. So why do you want to step into a ring?
Boxing's really good money too, but it's just I have that athletic like competitive like drive, like I just love competing. So this is the first thing, like if I don't know football, and if they had influencer in football track, I would be doing that. Or yeah, I would be doing that, like the influencer thing in track or like football or something. But boxing was the first thing that came up, that we can show our athleticism and get paid good money at the same time. So yeah, I'm just a competitor no matter how it is. I don't know, if they had a Hunger Games thing, I would go out and one man comes out alive. Like I would still go, because I just always feel like once I step into anything, I'm not losing.
So you've got an idea coming for a Squid Game type video now.
Yeah, I'm down for the Squid Game,
Is it a Royal Rumble, everyone in the ring?
Exactly. They should do, I think that that'll be really fun. They should do, have you seen those 3 versus 1 like UFC or the MMA matches?
I haven't seen them, but I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, they have like 4 versus 1, 3 versus 1. I want to do that because I have like there's a lot of people that aren't in my weight class that I would love to fight. So I fight 2 of them at the same time.
Are you naming any
Yeah.
names here?
Hey, everybody at the top of one of them all. I mean, if it's a KSI, a Jake Paul, and like anybody, like really, like I'm the type of person, like I said, I love to compete. So when I look on the internet and I see all these people not categorizing my name as one of the top like boxing or boxers in the influencer space, like I literally want to go through and fight everybody and show them that I'm like literally one of the top competitors in the space.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got that drive to get to the top.
Yeah.
That's very good.
I really think if me and Jake fought today, Jake is, I feel like, better than me at boxing. But if me and him fought today, it would literally be like a good fight. Like it's not going to be an easy fight for him already. And I know that after another year of doing this, I'm going to blow past him. So, yeah.
I mean, you mentioned KSI as well. KSI is from my hometown of Watford.
Oh yeah, yeah. KSI's a dog. I love his energy. I love everything like that. But yeah, I don't, I don't think KSI can last in the ring with me. Like, yeah, I don't think so. Blessings to KSI for letting me
definitely
on
a
his
challenge
promotion
there
and
now, isn't
everything.
there? There's a
Yeah,
challenge
you said
there.
what?
There's definitely a challenge laid down by you there.
Oh yeah, like I love KSI. I love all his content, but respectfully, I don't feel like he can hang with me in the boxing ring. Like, yeah,
Great.
probably has more skill, but there's weight classes for a reason.
So what's your weight now then? You're fighting weight.
So right now I'm weighing at 225.
Oh, so you're a heavyweight now.
Yeah, I'm a heavyweight. My next fight, I think he's like 260 or I don't know, 250 or something like that. Because I was trying to go down to cruiserweight and I was losing weight. And then they told me about this fight. So then I started gaining weight again. I got down to 209 and I started gaining weight for him. And then I fought Nick Young and I had to like be a certain weight for that one. So I've just been on the weight thing.
So how do you feel you're improving as a boxer from fight to fight? Because I saw you fight Arms Corleone, and then was it Swaggy P who you punched through the ropes? Was it? So how do you feel you improved from fight to fight?
I really feel like I'm improving really fast, because the Arms Corleone fight, I think that was like 2.5 months of boxing. Like I'd just been training for 2.5 months, and I got in there and I was a competitor, and I mean I feel like I won that fight, with PBA didn't give me the decision. But everybody still like gives me that decision. But then from that to the Swaggy P fight and only getting a 2-day notice, and like I've never even sparred a southpaw person. So like for going into that fight and lasting, like Swaggy P was a tough opponent. He was tall and like his arms were just so long. So every time I would get on the inside, he'd either punch me or grab me. So like it didn't give me a chance to even try to like get any punches in. So when I finally did, like, and I was just like pushing him off me, then he didn't want to fight anymore. And that's why like when I hit him, he just jumped out the ring, because he was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. But I just feel like I'm gonna be one of the most improved and fastest improved. Like people are gonna see that I even all like the pros that I spar in the gym, like it's like I'm able to stick with these guys more now. And then before it was just like my footing felt weird to walk around, like just to move and everything. Cause boxing, you can look at it and you can be like, oh, I can do that. But once you're actually in the ring, like it feels like you're in a video game, you know, and
It
it's
happens
like
so fast, yeah.
yeah. So it's I think for this third fight is the first fight that I'm gonna actually go in there and feel like I have a game plan. I know what I'm doing. I'm super confident, and I really see a knockout coming. And if not, I'm gonna take my time. Like I said, I'm not gonna headhunt, but I see a knockout coming by like the second round. There's no way he's getting out of the second round, but like hopefully he does. Hopefully we go the distance and I just get to bruise him up.
Oh, do you want to prolong the punishment? Would you prefer that then?
I want to punish him. I really want him to go through like punishment, and I want to like why I want it to go longer so I can have more clips to like put together like for highlights.
That's
So
a
it's like
good way to look at it.
yeah, I'm just thinking of that to actually show because I know I have a lot of different styles that people haven't gotten to see for my first two fights just because of how they fought and like my experience level really wasn't there to where it is now. Even though my last fight was 3 or 4 weeks ago, that's 3 or 4 weeks of me being in the gym every single day.
Yeah. So
So
you mentioned style, are there sort of fighters who you watch, or your favorite fighters to watch? Do you take anything from these fighters? I know Fort Worth, I think Don Curry, the Lone Star Cobra, is from Fort Worth, Texas. He was a great boxer back in the 80s.
yeah.
But do you follow any sort of boxer you sort of learn from as well from watching?
Um I follow, or I would say like as far as style wise, I don't say that I fight like him, but I literally take a lot of notes on Canelo, of course. Anthony Joshua, I watch a lot of Anthony Joshua fights.
Another
Um,
Watford man, Watford man.
yeah, yeah. Um, and that's even when I met him when I was in Wembley and I met him, I was just like, yo, I was literally watching your fights to lead up to this. And I think Arms Carleon's Anthony's friend. I literally like watch him to fight his friend. But a lot of why can I think Lennox Lewis. I watch a lot of
Oh
Lennox
wow,
Lewis too.
yeah,
And then
great boxer,
Floyd
yeah.
Mayweather. I watch it like I'm watching literally like you're beside the boxing I'm watching right now. And Floyd, I just watch him like for head movement, like because I don't have a style like him at all, but it's just like to see how he like maneuvers with the footwork and the head movement. Like I love to watch Floyd all the time. And then I watch him for like his personality too, because I met Floyd a couple times and he's a super nice guy. And but to see that he had to create that like asshole character
Yeah.
to make it in boxing, I like to watch how he carries himself and stuff like that. And like I take
Yeah.
notes on that.
Yeah, Floyd is very smart, both inside the ring and outside the ring. Like I said, the way he created his persona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
he
they
knew
weren't
exactly.
yeah, they
Yeah,
weren't giving him respect. I watched his documentary and they weren't giving him respect when he was just like beating people. When he was just beating people, he still wasn't getting the fights he needed. He felt like he was a top fighter. And then so he created the personality Flamboyant Floyd. And that's when he started like flashing his money a little bit and then talking mess. And then that's when he became Money Mayweather and he was really like flexing
yeah,
on people and everybody wanted to fight him because they wanted to shut him up.
exactly. I mean, I suppose we took Muhammad Ali was the original. You know, he put on that persona, and he's the
Mhm.
most famous face, you know, of the 20th century, and the
Yeah.
most famous sportsman in history as well. Yeah,
Hmm.
so you need that persona. And
Oh
what do you
yeah.
hope to what do you hope to achieve in boxing? What's your ultimate end goal with boxing?
My end goal is to have that to be the face of boxing to where what Jake Paul is right now. When you think of influencer boxing or crossover boxing, you think of Jake Paul. Everybody automatically is thinking of Jake Paul. Second tier, you think of KSI. And what I hope to achieve is to be like the heavyweight of you. When you think of the space, you think of me, and you think of and like to just I see boxing as another outlet to add on to my legacy of people are gonna really appreciate and see me for me to where I get to in the media day or in the media time you get to see my personality, you get to the documentaries, you're going to see my lifestyle and everything like that, that the comedy didn't let me do, because people like my comedy and people watch my comedy, people share it, I go viral for it, but they don't care about me. Like if I'm not cracking jokes, then they don't care. But with boxing, it's more of a thing to where it's like you actually like sometimes follow the person's lifestyle more, that you see like them leading up. Like I can say like inspirational stuff and people are going to listen more rather than just me cracking a joke.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
So
that's what I
you mentioned earlier on that people say you're too nice to be a boxer, but then you also
uh,
have that angry side. So are you also looking then to create a character for yourself separate to your social media, which is specifically used for boxing only,
um
a different side of you?
yes, yes. I definitely, I think that I thought about it and I feel like I want to be more of a villain in boxing. Like I want to.
That is the way, they make money, don't
Mhm,
they? Boxing side, all
mhm.
but the most famous names, so the most of the biggest characters, they all played the villain, didn't they?
Exactly. Like there's only certain people that can play that like nice guy and be really good enough to just like you still are the name, but you have to get those opportunities in those big fights. But I feel like the villain, like they don't even have to be at that top spot yet. All eyes are on them because people want to see them lose. And then
Yeah.
when you are that villain and people want to see you lose, if you win enough, that's how you convert the haters into supporters. So
So
yeah.
would you, you mentioned Jake Paul, would you consider fighting an ex-pro, for example? I'm sure I've seen an Instagram reel of yourself, or an Instagram story where you mentioned you would never fight a pro boxer, but would you
No,
fight an ex-pro, like, for example, Paul fought Mayweather, would you fight a famous ex-pro?
course. I would fight. I would love to. I actually said, because so I train at a gym that Earl trains at too. Like Earl Spence trains, and he has sparring partners at my gym, but he'll like rent it out and it'll only be him. But I would love to fight Earl just because of the weight difference. So I feel like it'll be, even though they're telling me at the gym, they're like, Earl will knock you out early. Like I'm not gonna last with him. But I would love to fight Earl. I would love to fight Deontay Wilder, like, and
Yeah,
get in there. Yeah, and that'll be like that might be an early like. But if it's an exhibition match, I think Deontay, he would take it easy and have fun. But I
but
know that,
I think Wilder's one of those guys where he can't take it easy with his punches.
yeah. But I still think like even if Deontay Wilder knocks me out cold, because I'm not delusional. I know that there's a skill level difference over like a huge difference, right? So it's just like I think it's legendary enough for me to even be able to get in the ring with somebody like that. Now, I did make a post and I said it would be stupid to fight a pro fighter, because I just meant like while building a name, like if it's a legendary fight or a fighter, yeah, of course, like that's dope. Like people know you're gonna go in there and you're not better than the person you're fighting. But like fighting these smaller pro fighters that aren't on their level and they just want to get a fight to get a check and beat an influencer up, I think that that's dumb. Because it's just like we weren't respected in the space. People didn't weren't boxers weren't trying to give us that chance to get our own name in the boxing space. And now that they see that we are making money from this and we are making a wave and we're getting views and we're getting people to watch the sport, now they want to be a part of it. And I just think that that's like, okay, if we invite you into the party, you're better than us already. So it's like, why? No, we can have our own party over here, basically. Like
um,
any smart person knows that, like, if you're a pro boxer that's been boxing since you're 6 years old, and I just picked this shit up 9 months ago, you're better than me. Like it's that simple. So yeah, that's how I feel.
yeah, have you ever sparred a pro then? Have you ever sparred a pro? You must have sparred pros, yeah. So how did you
Yeah,
find that then?
I it's challenging. Like it's crazy because you know that they obviously they work with me, so they're not going 100%. But I still know that as soon as I make a mistake, I'm sensing a punch coming. Like in boxing, once you messed up and you left yourself open, like you just gotta like I just brace myself for something coming back. So I actually was sparring a pro last weekend, and literally like I just got super tired because he just kept on hitting me in the stomach, kept on finding opening, doing body shots. So then like I got tired by round three and just like dropped my hands and literally he let me have it. So it's just like you can't you can't mess up with pros at all. When you're fighting these influencers, you can do whatever you want, really. Like you can just like mess around. I don't know. There is like leeway into like, okay, like you of course like keep your hands up and stuff so you don't get knocked out. But it's like I made so many errors in my first fights that like I should have got like knocked out, to where it's like now, I don't know, sparring more of the pros, it's just like, yeah, I'm not making those same errors again.
Well, that'd be another good video to make, wouldn't it? Recording a sparring session with one of the pros, such as Errol Spence. That would
Oh
definitely
yeah,
be a
yeah.
good one to
That'd
make.
be that'd be beautiful, man, because they're just so quick, man. That's the thing is the difference between the pro level and the crossover level is they are just fast and they're reactive. It's not even like with them being so fast, it's partly their reaction. It's just like it's embedded in them.
Mm. So
Once they catch something, boom, something's coming back.
yeah, so how do you feel about the criticism that was aimed at influencer boxers by professional boxers? There's a lot of complaints that you guys have sort of jumped in the queue almost. But
Mhm.
how do you, what is your response to that, and how does it make you feel?
Honestly, I mean, I kind of answered the question earlier, but I I don't really take offense to it that much, because it is a thing that I do respect a lot of professional fighters and boxers, and I want them. Our biggest thing is as influencers, we want their respect, but the more they talk about it, the more popular we're gonna get and the more money we're gonna make from it. So I really can't complain because at the end of the day, all that like if they don't respect us as boxers, they can respect us the money that we're bringing into the sport. So no matter what they say, they still want to be a part of it and they still want to grab at it. So I can't. Yeah, that's my take on it.
So what can boxers learn from people like yourself who are successful with social media? Because in my opinion, is that the influencer boxing is good for boxing because it puts more eyes on the sport. The more eyes you got on the sport, the more people are going to pay, watch the sport. And no one starts off as a hardcore fan. We all start off, for example, when I started when I was young, guys watching the big names on TV. I didn't know anything apart from watching my favorite fighters. And then you sort of, you then grow into sport and learn more. So with you guys doing this and bringing more eyes on the sport, it's a good thing for boxing. So what do you think these boxers can learn from people like yourself?
I think the boxers can learn really promotion, self promotion, because at the end of the day, most of it is everything is captured from the actual fighter. The only time you see them most of the time is on fight week and media days and stuff like that. But the thing that why I think that we're better at the promotion and the self promotion is because like we have our phone on us like constantly, like making gimmicks and doing different things to promote the fight differently. I mean, you see Jake Paul going in the fight week right now. He's fighting Anderson Silva, and he's wearing a fat suit, and he's saying like even though he respects Anderson Silva game and he doesn't want to talk major shit to him, he's like, oh well, I'm gonna figure out a different way, and he's just like, oh yeah, I'm not even taking this fight serious, and he has this big gut, and he's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to lose the weight in time. So it's just like we approach it as just like we're having fun because at the end of the day, we're influencers first and boxers second. So people, I feel like we entertain the people leading up to the whole event better, and they can take on that load because no matter what, they're going to be able to entertain people in the ring. So it's just like they can take notes from us on leading up to the fight.
Yeah, you mentioned like the persona. The boxers need to be able to learn, as you said, promote themselves, and they need that persona. And you guys have already got that persona, so then it's an easy transition for you. For promoters nowadays, they want to make money. They're going to put boxers on there who make money. Do you think the future is influencer boxing being? You could may have a headline, you may have like a Terence Crawford, Errol Spence headline event. Then you may have guys like yourself, KSI, Jake Paul on the undercard. Do you think that is the future of boxing? Because the
Yes,
money
I
it
think
brings in.
yeah, I think that just happened actually. Was it
There are events, yeah,
was
when
it Josh Nick? Was it Josh or Usnick? Or no, it was somebody. Was it the Usnick one? When
I think there was on the early fights. There may have been
yeah,
some guys on
they
there.
had
Yeah,
money kicks or whatever his name is. They had the influencers. So yeah, you know that all the promoters care about is money. So yeah, 100% that I think that in the future a big fight, even if KSI wants to, I feel like he can get on any card he wants to, even like say a super fight card like a Canelo versus, I don't know, whoever it would be. I feel like Canelo's done all his super fights, but anybody he can like the influencers can make it happen because they can bring a lot of money and bring a lot of eyes to the sport. But you would just have to be on a certain level. But I think the only thing I'm confused about is, for one, how long is crossover boxing gonna be a thing? And then two, when it isn't a thing anymore that people just want to watch influencers fight, how is it going to merge? Because some people are going to want to take it serious and some people are going to want to keep on boxing. Of course, the money might not be the same when it's just um, like the zone hosting a professional fight and then you have influencers in the ticket because of the skill level. But I think at the end of the day, when it's a hardcore boxing fan and a person that uh, like you said, like at first when you first start watching it, you're not like that hardcore of a fan. But then once you start watching it more, and we're bringing these fans that they're gonna start watching it more, and they're gonna become hardcore boxing fans where they critique little things. It's gonna be a skill level thing to where your skill level is gonna have to be up. So I'm just curious to see in the future where it goes and how they're gonna handle all that, because I don't know. I'm confused on where that's gonna go. I'm just right now I'm living in the moment and trying to get the most out of it right now.
Yes, it's going to be an interesting, journey for sure. So what do you say to those who disagree with them influence boxing?
I
What's the sort of
say
message to them?
you're gonna watch it anyway. So no
Yeah.
matter what, you're gonna watch it. If you're gonna critique it or love it, um, you're gonna watch it because it's going to be somewhere. Like it's interchanging, or it's interlocking with like being on tour. Like my last fight was all over Sports Center and TMZ and all that stuff. So it's just like when Jake Paul had his knockout, it was one of the top Sports Center knockouts or whatever. So it's just like it's interlocking with the real community. You're gonna see it, so you might as well just like lock up, be a fan, or even if you're a hater, still pay that money to watch the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Was your last fight on the same card as the Adrian Peterson fight?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's again, that's from another sport. Is Adrian Peterson was obviously the NFL, the American football. So
Uh-huh.
he thought that. So there's a big scope for influencer boxing. It's not just you can fight on cards with professional boxers. You can bring in sportsmen from all across the world, different sports as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
yeah. So
they're actually I saw that they're doing a chess boxing match. Did you see that?
no,
But it's an
that's
actual thing. And I think it's already a thing, but then now they're doing like the popular influencer chess people. They're putting it into a boxing match. So it's literally one round of chess, one round of boxing, one round of chess, one round of boxing. So as it goes on, it shows like you either got to win in chess or win in boxing. But as the stress level goes on, you start making mistakes in boxing. But it's so your break time and your rest time is that 3 minutes that you're playing chess, and then you go back in and they strap you up, you put on the gloves and you start boxing again. So I think that yeah, there's gonna be a lot of creative ways and a lot of
yeah.
different people that's gonna be brought into the sport.
I
And
want to see you do the chess boxing because I want to see you get angry in between those breaks.
that'll be funny. And I'm pretty good at chess. I was in chess club when I was younger, so I would love to do that.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Like Lex Lewis, you mentioned, he's also someone who was, I think, enjoyed playing chess, very smart. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So,
Yeah, it's a you gotta think ahead. And I love sports that make you like think like moves ahead. Like even in boxing, I learned like because in boxing you just watch and you think like, oh yeah, you're just throwing punches, you're just reacting, but like you're thinking about your combos before you throw them. You're thinking about like when you throw your combo, you're already thinking about like which direction you're gonna move, and then sometimes you have to just change it on reaction. But it's just like everything's strategic. Like you're trying to bait. I'm trying to bait you with this jab so you can fucking go this way so I can hit you with my two. So
yeah,
it's
but
really
yeah,
like chess.
boxing has been referred to as high-speed chess in the
Mm.
past. I'm sure one of the commentators has mentioned this, the high-speed chess. Okay, so I mean, again, I was watching your Instagram stories, and your mindset. Talk to me about your mindset. You seem to have a very strong work ethic and mindset. So, I mean, how does you mentioned not listening to about your teachers as well?
Mhm.
Whereas you went quite deep into quite a few things. So, tell me how you developed this mindset, because there's a lot of people, that will struggle with these sort of things and mindset. When
Mhm.
things go wrong, they start drowning themselves in worry. How do you get through these hard times? You mentioned in the past, some years are hard for you, but you got through them. How do you get this sort of iron mindset?
I think it's really believing in the law of attraction and believing in like staying positive, and good things are coming, because I feel like every moment, like right now, I feel like I'm on an up, I'm on a high, and this is only temporary. Like I don't know how long it's gonna last, but it's just like, yeah, the money's good right now, the people around me are good. I feel like I'm looking good, I'm losing weight, I'm doing everything right, and but it's that there is going to be a down. Don't know when it's going to come, don't know how it's going to come, but there is going to be a down to all of this, and probably a big down. But the only thing is to stay positive. I know that's cliche to say, but me, I'm a person, when things start going wrong, like I really just have to know that, like, yeah, the more wrong it goes, that means there's going to be a bigger reward at the end. And I'm the type of person to where it's just like I try to think positive, because when something negatives happen, and you think positive about it, even if you think like a smaller positive, or even if you think in um like the positivity is not as high as the negativity, like it's hard for me to explain. Basically, it's even if you think negative more than you think positive, it's easier to attract those positive thoughts. Like it's easier to make manifest things just from thinking positive, even if more negative stuff is going on in your life. And I always like abide by that, to where it's just like, yeah, um, good has always came after the storm.
Mm. Yeah, it's a really important topic actually, having that strong mindset. And now as well, when you're boxing, you've got to, you're putting yourself out there in front of so many viewers, and this is
Yeah,
this is not a team sport. It's all eyes on you.
yeah.
So then you need that mindset for boxing as well, because the highs of boxing are very high, but the lows can also be extremely low. So again, how do you approach boxing with this mindset? Because you've had two fights, you've experienced the high and the
Mhm.
low.
My coach got mad at me because I'm just like, sometimes I like to get punched in the face, but I like to be the underdog. I like to be losing, sometimes. And most of my fights, I start off slow on purpose. For one, to conserve energy, but two, it's just like, I'm feeling you out. Um, but like the third round of both of my fights, I feel like I just come out like stronger. Like, and so my last fight with Nick, I feel like he was getting the better of me most of the fight. But like it's weird that I kind of get like like I get more motivated from that. It doesn't discourage me at all. Like the more I'm usually losing at something, the more motivated I am to actually like come out on top. And I'm just like, I think it's in my nature. It's I have a kink for proving people wrong. And my biggest thing is like, if I have so many people supporting me and telling me like, oh yeah, you're great, you're doing good, blah blah, like it's not as cool for me to like do that. But when everybody's against me and everybody thinks that I'm gonna fail, and that's like, it's just how I am. It's just like, that's when I really want to work. And that's what I told you, that yeah, and TikTok and stuff like that. Like when I got my 1 million followers, that's when I was really working hard. And then after I got it, I'd already had it. So I was just like, okay, well, on to the next thing. Like, let me do something else. And that's how I've always been. It's just like, I'm successful in a lot of things. And then once I get it, it's like, it's cool. It's like, all right, I did that. Now let's, keep on going and do something else.
Mm, yeah,
So
it's very commendable what you
thank you.
discussed about mindset. So if you were a boxer, so just imagine you were an 18-year-old boxer, 19-year-old boxer
Mm,
starting out, and what would your advice be to a boxer, knowing what you do, because you've boxed now in front of a lot of people, you've been successful on social media with 1 million followers on TikTok. What would be your strategy as a boxer to sort of, again, if you started from scratch, no social media following,
mm.
haven't had many fights there, what would be your strategy to to build your profile?
Um, Strategy, I would say, and what I tell even all the guys in my gym is, make sure you capture really everything, every moment. Training is content in itself. Like I keep on telling my guys to like start putting yourself out there. They're like, no, like it has to be perfect. Like I have to think of an idea. I have to, no, you just put it out there. Everything is content. Every single time I've gone viral, I didn't expect that to be the video. I thought the videos that I worked really hard on was going to go viral, and those never go viral. But the video that I don't care about, that's always a throwaway video, that's the video that ends up going viral. So that's what I would say is just you put as much as you can out there, um, and yeah, let people get to know you and show a personality. Like I know boxing is one of the hardest sports and one of the loneliest sports because you live in the gym. That's it. That's all you're doing is in the gym. You don't get to spend as many time or as much time with your family unless if your family's in the gym with you. So a lot of boxers I noticed are like socially awkward in situations. So it's just like talk to the camera and let that be like your support, let your people, like I don't care if it's one or two viewers, you show them the process and bring them with you everywhere and post it as much as possible. And
Yeah,
I really need to take some of my own advice on that too, more in the boxing world. Yeah.
well, we've got some ideas. Just the sparring, you can always find some sparring partner from the pro ranks and put that. A lot of people want to watch that. A lot of boxing fans be interested in watching that for sure. Yeah, so yeah, and I know you mentioned in the Instagram stories as well about you know guys that were creating content 4 or 5 hours every day, just sitting in their rooms. So is that the sort of thing you'd say that boxers should be focusing on? Obviously, boxers are training all day; they haven't got 4 or 5 hours, but they they need to be making as much content as possible, producing clips and just putting them out there.
Yeah, I would say that yeah, because even I have boxer friends that love playing video games, and whatever you like to do on your free time, you can capture it in the form of content. If you like to play video games and stream it, let people watch you play video games. And that doesn't take a lot of money to set up. You just need a webcam, and if you have a computer, or you can do it on your phone. Um, but definitely, it is a job. So it's like you dedicate the time that you're not boxing, or even if you want to mix the worlds, like I said, you do it with stuff that you're already doing. You capture things that you're already doing to make the content. So I always advise influencers to not make your life harder by making the content. Just include the content in the lifestyle you already live. Yeah.
That's really good advice. I'll definitely be sound biting that and uploading that as a little clip. Because because obviously I work with boxers, I train pro boxers, so boxing is a business now. You are the business, you are the brand, and now the way social media is, you have to be able to promote that brand, and you got to treat it like a business, don't you? So boxers can definitely learn from yourself and others who like yourself as well. There's so much they can learn from this sort of way things are changing now. Okay.
So it's what about with their experience, there's boxers that's just about to turn pro, they're only in the amateurs, and they have zero following. They've never some of them don't even have social medias, and they work so hard to get to that point. But think about it, if they go viral overnight, they can step into the influencer boxing scene, and they'll be the top boxer in the scene. It's that simple. So you just gotta market yourself.
Yeah, you got to put yourself in the game. Don't If you don't play, you're never gonna. You got to take that risk, don't you?
Yeah, look at Hasim Rockman Jr. He's headlining our next fight.
Yes, is he fighting Vito Belfort? Is
he? Yeah, and he went from of course I knew who his dad was. I didn't know who he was. And then he didn't even fight Jake Paul. It was just talks of him fighting Jake Paul. And then that put him on to now he's this overnight celebrity that like people are paying to go watch. He's getting flown out to all these places. He's been in London a lot, it's just like, it's literally a thing to where I can't get mad at him because he's taken advantage of it, and he's promoted himself right after the fact of not getting that Jake Paul fight. So it's like, that's a lesson right there that he wasn't even the type of person to be like a social media personality, but after he got that chance, he did it right, and his team did it right. So you got to commend people like that.
Exactly. So is this something that you would do in future? Would you stay involved in the boxing game in some capacity, promoting or managing? Do you think that's something you can see yourself doing in future?
100%. 100%. I was in the talks last year about I really wanted to get a gym over here. I wanted to get a gym in Texas. And I was looking for spaces, but then I had a fallout with my last coach, and I have new coaching. That's another
Did
reason
you
why I
get
think like
angry?
yeah, like, and, and that's really why my fighting style is so different going into this next fight, because that this is the first fight that you're gonna get to see like what my new coaches, how they've taught me basically. So and I've done a lot more sparring, which sparring is like the most important thing. I feel like stepping in the space, if you have to learn things early, then like placing yourself in that environment and feeling comfortable with somebody in front of you. If it's a tech spar or if it's a full out spar, like that's very important. So yeah, I forgot what the question was, or I forgot what I was talking about.
Well, we mentioned about whether you'd stay in the sport of boxing
oh
after you
yeah,
finish
yeah.
boxing. Would you help promote? Would you put your own fight cards on as a promoter? Would you manage fighters because of your social media? So
Yeah.
your skills there, you know, your knowledge you've gained. Would you then want to help other fighters do what
Yes.
you've done
Yes, I
as
definitely
a
want to
pro game?
manage. Yes, I definitely want to manage, but I'm managing an influencer boxer right now, but I definitely would want to get a pro and just bring them up with me, and promote them, bring them everywhere that I am, and do what I can. But I definitely want a boxing gym. I want to own a gym and get people out there, get the kids and stuff like that. So I would probably manage some fighters from that. And then yeah, if I can get my own promotion, that would be lovely. But we're just seeing really it's one step at a time, like to get a name big enough to get my own promotion or to like help somebody and sign on to theirs. You know, Golden Boy might
Uh,
need help in the future.
I'd be very interested to see yourself as a promoter. If you start trash talking, for example, other promoters at press conference, that'd be quite
That'd be
interesting.
funny. Yeah, I'm with all of that.
No, that's really good. Um, okay, so you mentioned your coaches. I mean, how does someone like yourself then choose a coach? Because there must be a lot of coaches that say, well, he's famous.
Yeah,
We want to work with him. So how do you decide
yeah.
which coach you choose, and who are your
Um,
coaches now?
actually, so like I told you, I started boxing to lose weight. So yeah, choosing my coaches was really a convenience thing, to where it's like the closest gym to me that I was training at. Like I just went with him. And honestly, like I said, like nobody was taking me serious. And I was like, this is gonna be a thing, until I feel like my coach didn't take it serious until we hopped on that flight to London and he saw the environment of like we sold out a stadium and everything was professional. And he was just like, oh yeah, this is a real thing. Like we it was what is it called, the OVO in Wembley? Like they changed it to
Uh,
the something
the
arena.
O2, the O2.
No, it's next to the Wembley Stadium. There's a smaller stadium. It's right next to Wembley, like in like a 2 minute walk.
I,
But
I I know what you're talking about. Some of the guys were there recently from our club.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we completely sold out that stadium, and just the environment, like even with my last fight, I brought my new coaches there, which is Tristan Calcruth and Sean Calcruth. Tristan Calcruth, he's a boxer with Golden Boy. He's a heavyweight, and he's about to go to cruiserweight actually. But yeah, I brought them to my last fight, and they're like, these are all the same people as our fights. Like these are all like the same photographers, the same people in the ring. Like we have everybody. So it's just like now after my last fight, my whole gym, you can see the respect thing is different, because it's like they actually had somebody in sees that our environment is the same, and people, the fighters are taking it serious. Like the influencers, like we're training sometimes even more than some of the pros in the gym, just because we can get money from other things. So it's like we have more time in our hands to take boxing serious and like to learn more about it. So yeah. uh
You said you change your style as well with
uh-huh.
these coaches. So I
Yes.
mean that's quite interesting because you're quite early on into your boxing career and you already want to change styles. So how is that working out for you? And how did that come
I
about? Did they say to you, we want to change your style, or you're better suited to this particular style of fighting?
I think my last coach was mainly teaching me, like it wasn't about what do you want to do. It wasn't about like how, he never really asked me how I wanted to fight. He just basically was like, you have to fight this way and this is how you're going to fight. So that's just how I was training, is how he was teaching me. And even I would feel uncomfortable doing a lot of things. So then when I started working with these new coaches, it's more of a, oh, like, how do you want to fight? How are you comfortable fighting? So it's like, now I just feel more comfortable. Now I can move more. I can throw punches faster. And what they are teaching me more is just like, moving with, like, after the punch and with my punches and stuff like that, which I feel like there was a lot of times that I was more stationary in the past. And I would throw a punch and then just like try to watch to see what's coming back at me, so,
Well, at least if you see a punch coming, you can brace for it. As long as
exactly, exactly. But now it's just like, even like with mitts, like they're never stationary. When they're working mitts with me, I'm always moving, and like, it's just a lot of things that I think I wasn't. It's way better work with this coach. No, nothing against my last coach. Like, it's all love, and it was good. But it's like, my last boxing environment was more of a UFC gym. I feel like there was like I don't know if you know who Kevin Holland is, but yeah, he's a big UFC fighter, and we had the same coach, and like he would come train there, and half of the gym was UFC and half like was dedicated to boxing, but we didn't have a ring, so we'd have to travel to go like spar people in the ring and stuff. So this environment, I like it way better, because I have a boxing ring, and everybody in the gym is boxers, and everybody in there is taking it serious, and they're showing up every day. And that's important to me to see that, like, people around me are taking it as serious as me, because I feel like my last gym, people would skip, people would have excuses for not coming, and I just, it would bring me down to where I would be like, hey, I'm the influencer, and I feel like I'm the hardest worker in here. So that's working toward the sport that y'all are doing. So this new environment is definitely like, I'm saying, everybody's hungry in there, and I love that. And it just
Yeah,
makes me better.
the environment makes such a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So
So
yeah, it's dope.
if you could select names from any aspect, from any sort of area, whether it's sport or entertainment, you'd have pick one or two people to fight. Who would you most want to fight right now? Doesn't have to
Right now,
be in the influencer boxing sort of area. It can be
yeah.
anywhere across all sports.
Um, I would love to fight Drake. I'd love to that would be the biggest fight in the world. I
so,
would love to fight.
but isn't there some sort of thing about the Drake curse?
What?
Have you heard about the Drake curse? If he ever turns up to a fight, that person is losing. But I suppose if it's him, it's probably him who turns up and he loses, isn't it?
Exactly. No, and me and Drake, we actually so when I trained in California, me and Drake have the same trainer.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's like Drake's been training boxing for about like 3 years now, 2 or 3 years, that I know of with my trainer. But he's like, he doesn't take it serious enough to where he's always doing it. He's just doing it for a workout. So I think that would be like, I would love to fight Drake. And then
But is fighting Drake, is that bad blood, or just because you know him and you see him around, you want to fight him, as opposed to he's
just
actually at your
no
grudge
bad
match?
blood at all.
Okay.
No bad blood. Drake is one of the people in the industry that I respect out of like everybody. Like, so I think that would be the thing, was it would be fighting like my idol type thing. And and I just know it would be everywhere. It would literally be, there's no fight that would be bigger than that.
That's quite interesting.
Um,
Most people want to meet their idols and get an autograph. You want to meet your idol and punch him in the face.
exactly, and knock him out.
Through
I
the
wouldn't take
ropes.
it easy at all. Yeah, I literally, and that's funny because Swaggy Pete, I'm telling you, when I was younger, I used to take the photo to my barber, like a picture of Swaggy P, to my barber, and tell him to cut my hair like Swaggy P, and then to be in the ring with them, like it just came full circle. Um, but I would definitely want to fight Floyd too. I feel like yeah, that would be a beautiful fight. Like I would love to fight Floyd Mayweather. Um, just to see, like, to be able to see like how it is that he makes everybody miss. Like, it's just like, because Logan, I watched the interview of Logan talking about it, and Logan was saying, he was just like, you would think that you had him. Like, he was like, yeah, you would miss the punches, but then, like, sometimes in boxing when you're fighting, you're like, oh yeah, I'm easily gonna land this one or two or three, and he would say that, and then he would just, like, Floyd would just disappear. And I just want to I feel like Floyd's of our generation. He's known to be the top boxer of our generation. So I think that would be like, yeah, top of my pick would be Floyd Mayweather fight. Even though more like a lot of people are fighting him now for exhibition matches, I still think that would be legendary.
Yeah, I mean he's still showing he's a very shrewd businessman, isn't he? I mean he's entitled to fight who he wants after the career he's had, but
Exactly.
he's a great businessman. He's still making money, isn't he?
Hmm.
More than all the pro boxers, really, well, majority of them. Making these
100%.
exhibition fights with he knows what he's doing. He's a very smart guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
who do you most want to punch in the face then?
Most want to punch in the face. I feel like it'll be a good. I still respect. This is controversial. I respect this man, but I would love to like just punch Donald Trump in the face one time. I feel like Trump is a funny dude. Like I miss him on Twitter and everything, but like that would be funny as hell just to punch him as hard as I can. A boxing match with Donald Trump, yo.
Isn't he back on Twitter now? Is he back? Was he
I
recently come
haven't
back?
seen him on Twitter. It would go crazy if he came back now. I know his son's on Twitter, but I haven't seen Trump on Twitter.
I thought I heard someone in the gym saying that. I think a day or two ago that he's back on Twitter, but yeah, I haven't seen him yet either. But yeah,
Probably. I've been traveling, so I was traveling the last 3, 4 days, so I wasn't really on the internet
well,
as much.
maybe that can be your welcome. Maybe your welcome post to him. I'm gonna
Yeah.
punch you in the face, Mr. Trump.
Trump
Welcome
one
back.
on one. Yeah, that would actually I would probably take a Trump fight over a Drake fight.
Oh, really? Is that
Yeah,
because it's
yeah.
more of a guaranteed win as well?
The Drake fight's a guaranteed win, but
More of a
I
guaranteed
think
win, I suppose.
yeah, Drake is. I mean, Trump is just yeah. That's a funny individual. He's super funny.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
But
that.
the hour's almost up. I know you're really busy, so I don't want to keep you, longer
No
than
worries.
we asked for initially. So I really appreciate you coming on. Um,
No worries.
it's
Appreciate y'all for or you for the interview.
it's been great speaking to you, getting to know you. I wish you all the best. For the future
Thanks.
of boxing. I'll definitely be following that as well now. And yeah, hopefully we'll keep in touch, and I'll see more of you around on the TV and supporting your wins.
Thank
Unless
you.
you're
And then
fighting KSI from Watford.
I'm gonna actually be I'm gonna be out there in the UK in December. So yeah, hopefully I can like come by the gym or something.
You should
I
definitely
want
come to my gym
yeah,
in Watford. Yeah, yeah, I've got my own
yeah,
gym there as well. Yeah,
perfect.
definitely do some coaching there. Give you some tips as well.
100%. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
great
stay in
talk to you.
contact.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks very much. All the best.
All right, no problem. See you, boss.
Take care. Bye.